Before we begin, I'd just like to thank Android Axel for finding this video for me. And by that I mean for covering it himself, at which point I looked at the video and said, I should also cover it, because this is really bad. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are dipping our toes into a topic that I haven't covered before, which is acephobia.
Again with another video on the Scorpia's Hair channel. So basically today I'm going to be reacting to this awful video made by Jaden Animations. I know, right? A common Jaden Animations L. And the video is called Being Not Straight, with the gay flag in the background and her looking all sad.
She looks more shocked and surprised than sad. Hell, she looks more stone-faced and neutral than either of those, truth be told. But okay.
It's clearly just some like sympathy farming video that we're gonna react to.
Wow, we just began and you're already poisoning the well. Congratulations. I especially like this because you say you're reacting to Jaden's video, meaning you haven't even seen this video before, and yet you've already come to a conclusion as to what the video is going to be. So here's a question. What's the point in continuing watching your video if I already essentially know all of your thoughts regarding the video? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the fun of reaction videos supposed to be that you're watching the video? If the person actually doing the reacting has already come to a conclusion on the quality of the video, then what the fuck is the point of doing a reaction to it? Now mind you, it's possible that this man just confused commentaries and reaction videos, but if that's the case, then, well, it's still his fault for not knowing what genre of video he's making. I also just want to point out how fucking lame of an accusation this is. You're essentially saying Jaden wants people to feel sympathetic towards her. Oh no! Unless you can prove she's twisting facts in some way or being melodramatic, who gives a shit? This is a bit of a tangent, but this is something I notice a lot of below-average commentators do when they can't actually address what's being said. Instead, they engage in essentially a form of tone policing, where they attempt to ad hominem the person they're covering by calling them a sympathy farmer, or arrogant, or nitpicking, or a number of different things, many of which would be utterly minuscule even if they were true, and more often than not, they're not.
Let's get into it. I've come to realize that I'm Aro-Ace, which stands for aromantic asexual. And I know what you're thinking. That's not gay. What the hell is that?
Yeah, dude, that's literally exactly what I'm thinking, bro. Like, the fact that people are making up this many sexualities is honestly one of the most confusing things about the world right now.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what it is, dude.
Wow, you must be a really fast learner, given you went from wondering what the hell that was to knowing exactly what it was over the course of about 12 seconds.
It is some sexuality made up in recent years so that people could have attention.
Really? Because I checked the LGBTQIA+ wiki and they were able to find examples of the word being used in the same context Jaden is currently using it, going as far back as the early 20th century. And you've been able to find an online community of asexuals for basically as long as there's been internet. In 2000, there was a Yahoo group established called Haven for Human Amebia, where asexuals met. And in the following year, the wiki Asexual Visibility and Education Network was created.
Now, just by me saying that, I already know I'm gonna get so much hate on this video. But let me just say this, man. This is not a hate video at all. I have nothing against people who are Aro-Ace or whatever superhero gender.
Even though you just said their identity was totally made up and they were nothing more than attention seekers.
Like, this video is not meant to be rude to anyone, okay, at all. But I honestly think that a lot of these sexualities or whatnot are, like, kind of getting out of hand. And to be honest, I wouldn't even really have a problem with it if it was just them making up fake sexualities and then, you know, being free or whatever. But it's to the point where they're being, like, extremely hypocritical with what they accept and what they don't.
Really? Are you going to give any examples to back up your claim, or even the slightest bit of explanation so your audience knows what the fuck you're talking about? Of course you aren't. Also, if you don't have an issue with people making up sexualities, then why did you just call the people who were doing so attention seekers before derogatorily calling their identities superhero genders? Even though neither asexual nor aromantic are genders, but one thing at a time.
And you know what? That is completely fair, because I didn't know what that was either. Aromantic and asexual are two different things, and I'm gonna break them down to you separately, starting with aromantic, because no one really knows what that one is. And also, it's my personal favorite. Someone who's aromantic is defined as a person who feels very little to no romantic attraction to anyone at all. So, like, they might not develop crushes on people, or feel the need to be in a romantic relationship.
Bro, what are you even saying right now?
I'm pretty sure she's saying this.
And you know what? That is completely fair, because I didn't know what that was either. Aromantic and asexual are two different things, and I'm gonna break them down to you separately, starting with aromantic, because no one really knows what that one is. And also, it's my personal favorite. Someone who's aromantic is defined as a person who feels very little to no romantic attraction to anyone at all. So, like, they might not develop crushes on people, or feel the need to be in a romantic relationship.
Oh, but I kid.
Like, this whole concept is just so retarded to me. I have nothing against people who are Aro-Ace. Like, maybe you're not aromantic, asexual, maybe you're just lonely and you don't go outside enough to be attracted to someone. And
You do know lonely people feel romantic attraction, right? Or are you under the impression that romantic attraction is like Superman's powers in that it's powered by Earth's yellow sun?
to be honest, if you want to be that type of person, good for you, man. I have literally nothing against you.
I have metaphorically 3 things against you, though.
But you don't need to make up all these sexualities to seem like all different and all like quirky or whatever.
Okay, so we've gone from him thinking that asexual was just made up in the past few years to, I guess, him thinking that Jaden herself made it up. You know it's okay to Google things before you do a video on them, right? Because even the most basic research would prove this notion entirely wrong.
Especially within the past few years. I'm gonna be talking in very general surface level terms because specific personal details are for me to know, and in the nicest way possible, none of your business.
Okay, then why make the video anyway? Like, why make a video that literally nobody asked for, first of all, if you're just gonna say that it's none of the viewers' business? Like, that's pretty retarded.
Because the point of the video is to give people a basic introduction to what it means to be aromantic and asexual, not tell Jaden's entire life story. If somebody with, say, bipolar disorder makes a video explaining what bipolar disorder is, are they then required to tell every single story from their life that in some way relates to them being bipolar? Well, obviously not. That would be stupid. Nor would they forfeit their right to privacy regarding events that involve them being bipolar. So why would Jaden forfeit her right to privacy by making a video on being aromantic and asexual?
Like, that's like walking up to a stranger and saying, hey, where I live is none of your business. Like, dude, okay, I don't even care anyway. Literally nobody asked for an inside scoop on your life, Jaden Animations.
I mean, the video has 16 million views, so clearly somebody must have asked.
Not, here's a little story example from me. Growing up, I never developed crushes on anyone. I remember when I was in 5th grade, kids were talking about their crushes left and right, and it was starting to feel like something I had to experience too, just because I thought that's just what happens. Don't make fun of 9-year-old me.
You do realize that it's completely normal for a 9-year-old not to have a crush, right?
You are aware she never said otherwise, right?
Like, when I was 9 years old, it was like 2016, and we were talking about like Keemstar and stuff at daycare. Like, you do realize not all 9-year-olds are ready for a committed relationship, right?
I don't think you know how crushes work. Or for that matter, the young mind. A crush doesn't mean you're ready for committed relationships. It just means that you have a romantic attraction towards somebody. That's it.
Like, I honestly find it very funny how they found a way to create, like, a sexuality out of that. Like, oh my goodness, guys, I was a normal kid when I was 9 years old. I wasn't worried about sticking it in or anything like that.
Oh god, do I need to continue on? I genuinely don't know if I should continue on. All I'm going to say is, I doubt Jaden would have much interest in sticking it in, as they say, even if she wasn't aromantic and asexual. I'm trying to not go into laughing fits and commentaries. I really am, but I just can't help it sometimes.
I was a sheep. Anyway, I decided I needed to have a crush because that's just what happens to people. And I very robotically chose this random kid in the class who we can call Pikachu. That's not his name. He didn't mean anything to me and I didn't do anything about this crush. Like, I didn't tell anyone or anything. It was just a headcanon thing for me to feel up to speed and like I was hitting my normal human emotions quota. But it's
What it sounds like to me is that when you were 9 years old, no, you were not Aro-Ace, you were a normal kid, okay? Normal kid, except for one thing, okay? you were thirsty for attention. So you weren't into boys because you were 9 years old, and that's normal. But you were, however, into that sweet, sweet attention, which, clearly you still are today.
Okay, even ignoring my own thoughts on Jaden, where did you get the idea she was attention hungry when she was 9? Because she pretended to have a crush and then didn't tell anybody? If she was doing it for attention, wouldn't she have, I don't know, told somebody? That seems to make a much more sense.
It's like you used the gay flag in your thumbnail because you knew that more people would click on it if they thought you were coming out as gay. You didn't use like the Aro-Ace flag or whatever because you were just being an attention whore.
Well, I like this idea that a YouTuber with 11 million subscribers, whose least viewed video has 500,000 views, needed to mislead her audience to get people to click on her video. Never mind the fact that the rainbow flag is more or less just considered the universal flag of, well, not being straight these days. No, it had to be her using clickbait, which she wouldn't even need to do. And that's not even getting into the question of, if she wants attention so badly, why the fuck are you giving her it?
Because I know for a fact that if you would have put this flag in the thumbnail, nobody would have clicked on it. And again, this video is not to be rude to Jaden Animations, or it's not to hate her, it's just to criticize her. Like, you legitimately have 10 million subscribers. Did you really need to clickbait being gay? Like, you have all the attention in the world, man. 10 million subscribers, that's more people than some countries have.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you cognitive dissonance. Seriously, you just explained why your argument that Jaden was doing this for attention doesn't make any sense, and instead of changing your mind, you just say that, man, Jaden must be really desperate for attention if she already has so much of it and she still doesn't have enough, apparently. Anyway, that's all I want to cover, so final thoughts. This video was dumb. That's all I got, sorry. Good night and good luck.